worried at all about Williams after this start?
Sal off the top rope there. I love it. The ERA joke. That's incredible. Look, I know he's been bad. And, you think about these guys coming into New York. Well, can he pitch here? All of those sort of questions start to crop up now that it's been bad to start with. But I feel like it's such a small sample size. I wish he were throwing more strikes, guys. I mean, I think he's throwing 56% strikes. The last 3 years when he's been one of the best relief pitchers that we've ever seen, he's more in toward the mid-60s. So I think that's something that he can do better at, but he's walking guys. But ultimately, with all that being said, I think he's going to be all right. I think the Yankees are going to get who they thought they were going to get.
I'm glad you mentioned the walks because there's so much talk about a new uniform, NL Central to AL East. That's a big-time difference. But the walks have been a theme every single year for Devin Williams, give or take one season, for his entire career. There's a slow starter every single year, regardless of the uniform. Devin Williams has not been that good of a pitcher in March and April, at least for his standards. Like when you look at a 3.86 ERA, that's good for some guys, not good for Devin Williams. Then it gets better and better and better as the season moves along. Two of his best years, actually, 2021 and 2022. He had 8 walks in about 9 innings in both of those seasons in March and April. Rest of the season, dominant. Barely allowed any runs in the middle months of the season, June, July, August. Now, the counter to that, you're playing for the Yankees now. October, colder weather, so you better get going in the colder climates to start the season. But I think middle of the season, we're going to be looking back at that outing in Detroit and saying, oh, remember when Devin Williams almost blew that 4-run lead for Max Fried? It's going to be a joke more so than something we look back at and say, that was the start of the Devin Williams implosion. There's a slow starter. I wouldn't make too much of it right now.
I'm with both of you 100%. And Emmanuel brought up the 2022 season for Williams. In that year, he had a 12 ERA through 4 outings. Coincidence? We'll see what happens. But in that season, he finished with a 1.9 ERA. And since then, he's been one of the best in all of baseball. Go back to 2020, the beginning of that season. He's second in ERA and second in strikeout rate. Only Emmanuel Clase has been better in ERA. This guy came over from the Brewers as one of the best closers in all of baseball. And I cut him a little bit of slack in the sense that he's coming off the paternity list. He hasn't really pitched in that many games. And what he was talking about in Detroit is execution. Like he's aware of what the issue is right now. He's not executing with his pitches. And you look at that outing in Detroit just yesterday, he's missing his spots. Of course, he's going to be walking guys and giving up hits in big spots.
Yeah, but the Yankee fan was talking about, oh, they get the best closer in baseball. And by the way, you want to talk about slow starts to the season? I saw him close the season last year. Didn't go too well for the Brewers. They had everything lined up. And then Pete Alonso took it from him. But with Williams, the Yankee fans saying they get the best closer in the game. They did lose Clay Holmes a year ago, who wasn't, guy was an all-star reliever for them. Williams got to be better. I mean, he's got to face the music afterwards. He's got to be accountable. It's been 4 games, and he has not been good at all. I'm not making a huge issue with this. I think he'll be okay. But I think thinking what you were getting from Milwaukee and seeing it in reality in New York, 2 different things. Maybe a bigger issue than Williams is the all-or-nothing offense for the Yankees here. Max, are you more encouraged by the Yankees' home runs or more discouraged by the amount of strikeouts?
I'm going to go with the latter, the strikeouts, and they're top 10, I believe, in strikeouts on the year so far. Jazz Chisholm was talking the other day about the cold temperatures. I wonder how much that has to do with it. He's second in all of baseball in strikeouts last time I checked. But what I want to dive into here is how they've performed against really quality starting pitching. And if we look at this from a playoff perspective, who are the Yankees going to be facing in October? It's aces, it's frontline pitchers, and they've been shut down by Zach Gallen, Tarek Skubal, Casey Mize, and even Andrew Heaney, who is not a frontline starter, as the Yankees saw when they traded for him a couple years ago. So there are holes with this lineup, and it's only 12 games. Let's not overreact just yet. But quality pitching does beat decent lineups and good hitting. And if Aaron Judge is the only guy producing, which isn't the case so far, but they can't be top heavy down the stretch. They have to play better against those really good starters.
Yeah, I'd be concerned about getting completely shut down by starting pitchers, but sometimes it's not your day and you do have to tip the cap. Like Zach Gallen, that start, I don't think anyone was hitting him. 13 strikeouts, he was mowing him down. I don't think anybody was hitting Zach Gallen that day. It is a little bit concerning, but when I looked going into the year, I was wondering, how are the Yankees going to produce runs? They don't have Juan Soto anymore. Giancarlo Stanton Stanton's out for an extended period of time, right? So how do you produce runs top to bottom in the lineup? And the Yankees have shown they're still the Bronx Bombers. They can mash. They can hit the ball out of the park. That was a major concern for me going into the year. I thought they would play small ball. I thought they would be athletic. I thought they'd have more speed. Could they hit home runs? Could they be the Bronx Bombers? They've done that at a historic level. So I'll take my chance in October against the best of the best.
Yeah, you got the power, but you don't have much else. Unfortunately, we did think it was going to be a little bit more balanced for the Yankees. It seems to be the same old thing. Lots of power, too many strikeouts in that lineup as well.